Perhaps you came across Ayurveda in an herb class or in a yoga class, or you read a book on it and it seemed intriguing to you. Maybe it seemed beautiful or could produce beautiful results, or perhaps it seemed to describe the natural world in a way that made sense and that appealed to you. Whatever the reason, it's Ayurveda seems to grip us all with a sort of excitement that drives us to study it a little bit further. And I think that's why you are here today, and it's certainly why I'm here today as director of the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda. I can say that the excitement of discovering Ayurveda continues and has continued to captivate me for 20 years, and it's still such a wonderful thing to discover in new and many varied ways. It continues to bear fruit, and so I've had an exciting journey with Ayurveda, and want to give that to you. Um, My name is John Immel, and I'm the director of the Joyful Belly School. That's what I look like. And I'll start with, before I get into today's program, I'll start with some testimonies from our students, just so that you can hear from them what their experience was at our school. And then what I'll do is I'll just talk a little bit about Ayurveda education generally, and what you could expect to get from an Ayurveda healing journey and professional certification course. What kind of people come to Ayurveda and what do they do with it? And then I will talk about our courses, the format of them, our curriculum, and what your life will look like as a student of Joyful Belly. All right, well, let's get started here. Angela Rosoff says that I feel like I am bursting with bodily awakening. My skin is more vibrant than ever. This is so powerful. At this time of year, I want to share my gratitude for being a part of this transformative education. Ayurveda truly offers a new beginning. And I think many students will echo Angela's sentiments, and that you will learn about bodily awakening, your body, and how to apply Ayurveda's principles to your instinct, and to hone your instincts about your own body and those of your clients. That it's not just the theory that we're learning, but something very experiential. I think students of any kind of body work grow into the understanding. They learn the tools and then they grow into an understanding. And I think that is true for Ayurveda as well. And we have a particular focus on the experiential component of Ayurveda in our school. Here's a student from Ohio. I am thankful and grateful for you and the creation of Joyful Belly and the MID program. This is the digestion program. You have a stellar group of teachers, yourself included, and I feel truly blessed to have been led down this path as part of my journey. We do have a strong focus on our teachers and making sure that our teachers are not only competent in Ayurveda, but also are great teachers, and we actively train them in good pedagogy. And so they are good at delivering Ayurveda's insights. Here's from a pediatric gastroenterologist. She says, Dr. Helen John Kelly, she says, as far as the course, it has been an eye-opening experience for me. As a pediatric gastroenterologist, there is so much that I have been doing as an allopathic physician for the past 22 years, and wish that I had stepped into Ayurveda sooner. It is not too late, however, as I grasp the Ayurveda concept. Understanding why, how, and what should be done has become easier. And I'm enjoying that very much. Thank you. So, even if you have been in medicine for 22 years, there is something, like Dr. John Kelly, there is something vast to be gained by studying Ayurveda. All right. So I'll tell you about our courses very briefly, and then talk a little bit about Ayurveda generally. Then we'll get back to format. Okay. The first course is the Fundamentals of Ayurvedic Medicine. This is our level 1 training program for people who are who want to have a comprehensive, deep understanding of all Ayurveda's fundamentals. It's a 2-year comprehensive program, entirely online. No travel required in any of our courses. We've been online since the beginning, by the way, since we started offering courses. Joyful Belly has been around since 2006. We started teaching in 2008, and we've always been an online school, mainly because I believe in the use of multimedia for medical education. It's really important that you have those visuals up close. That's impossible in an in-person setting. So we've been in an online school from the beginning. This course and most of our other courses, except for the Panchakarma course, have 3 coaching calls a week. And they're staggered so that students in every time zone can attend, whether you're Pacific Rim, the Middle East, whether you're coming in from Western Europe, Hawaii, Latin America, or the US, Canada. We have staggered our live synchronous class times are staggered so that everyone from every time zone can attend, and these classes are all recorded so that if there is a class you can't attend, you can always listen to it asynchronously as well. All right, so 2-year course. First year is all of Ayurveda's theory and approach to health, from imbalances to advanced disease. You start your clinical education day 1. So while you are learning the theory, you are also learning how to apply it to advanced diseases. And that is very important, that you begin your clinical training right away. A lot of schools, their class is simply just a textbook. You will get much greater depth than any textbook could deliver from the work, from the presentations themselves, and also the exercises that you do applying the theory you've learned to actual clinical cases. All right. In the second year, there's a greater shift, or you might say a shift from theory to even more practice. Okay, so in the second year, you understand all of Ayurveda's fundamentals. Now we are applying those fundamentals to assessment of the whole body and additional clinical, more broad clinical use. So what do I mean by that? Once you know all of Ayurveda's fundamentals, you're ready to assess the pulse, the tongue, the eye, skin. You're ready to use your knowledge of Ayurveda in each particular area and organ system of the body: the liver, the lungs, mental health, diet, lifestyle, etc. So you're going to use all the tools from year 1 to your assessment and restoration of health, with supervision and review for 95 client encounters. The goal of this course is not just that you understand Ayurveda, but that you understand people, that you see the whole person. We have to remember that, yes, this is an Ayurveda course, but we're not about Ayurveda. We're about people. We're about healing. And so we aim not just an understanding of Ayurveda, but your confidence and clinical skill to produce positive health outcomes. That's our concern as a school ultimately, and Ayurveda is a great means to that end. All right, so we want to provide that in-depth training so that you come out seeing the whole person, mentally, emotionally, physically. We're going to present Ayurveda in a way that makes common sense, not in a miraculous or mystical way. Although I think Ayurveda is amazing, we don't need to present it as miraculous to get Ayurveda's benefits. A common sense approach helps you understand the why behind Ayurveda's methods and techniques. I think one of the most wonderful and unusual aspects of education at Joyful Belly is that we give you the common sense understanding behind Ayurveda's claims so that they seem as right as rain, that they seem intuitive, that you can understand the why and communicate the why to your clients so they can have confidence in it too. Okay, so that's the 2-year fundamentals course in Ayurveda. The 3rd-year course is the Ayurvedic Herbalist course. Now, we learn about Ayurvedic herbs every day in the 2-year course. But this course takes it to another level where you are specifically focused on herbs for the whole year, looking at all the clinical strategies behind the use of herbs, becoming an expert in over 125 Ayurvedic herbs and all major Western herbs. I say this because it's very important as an herbalist practicing Ayurveda in the West, or really anywhere outside of India, that you know the Western herbal apothecary, because that's what herbs are accessible around the world. We will learn some Chinese herbs as well. Actually, we'll spend a great deal of time covering Chinese herbal strategies in addition to Ayurvedic herbal strategies, but we're going to apply those strategies to Western and Ayurvedic herbs. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the Chinese apothecary. We'll also do a lot of medicine making in the Ayurvedic herbal course, from poultices, salves, tinctures, to ghees, oils, and nasya. In the pre-call, Rachel was talking about her, this is one of the people attending the call, was talking about her use of some of these Ayurvedic medicines, such as nasya oil or oil drops that you put in the nose to clear the sinuses and even the head, and all of the passages in that area, including eustachian tube to the ears, etc., throat. All of the nasya oil treats all of those areas of the body, and so we'll be learning how to make those, and you will make them. You will make your own. Not just that you will learn how to make it, but you will actually make it. Okay. And that all of our courses are very hands-on. You say it's an online course, it must be less hands-on. No, it's not. It's more hands-on. In any kind of hands-on work, whether it's an in-person program or an online program, the hands-on work is generally done at home. Well, I can tell you that you will have more hands-on education here than in many other places. Okay. All right, this herbalist course is the most advanced Ayurvedic herbalist course there is. It is a huge leap forward in your clinical skills. Now, in any herbal course that's worth its salt, is really, in a sort of hidden way, an anatomy and physiology course, right? Herbs, what's the difference between herbs and food? When you're learning herbs, you're learning the specific, you're learning something more specific than food. Now, food has some herbal actions, and many times food is acts like an herb, and it may even be just as strong as an herb. But in the general case, you use food in a general way and herbs in a very specific way. So when you're learning herbs, you're also learning about specific diseases and specific anatomy and physiology. So our aim in this advanced Ayurvedic herbalist course is that you're an expert of the body and disease and herbs, and they all go hand in hand. You cannot learn one without the other. You can't be an expert Ayurvedic herbalist without being an expert in disease and without being an expert in the body. We need to know, although the course won't go deeply into biochemistry, you need to know some basics of biochemistry. And that will help you use herbs in an expert way. And so we're going to combine that hands-on experiential knowledge, developing your Ayurvedic skills of understanding what's happening to you and how herbs are affecting you and your clients. But we'll also learn some specific technical knowledge about herbs. That's why I say we're going to combine Chinese Ayurveda and Western therapeutics in this course. It's really an unparalleled clinical training in herbal strategies. You'll study herbalism the way it was actually developed by experiencing the pharmacology of herbs. And I think that's a very rewarding course. What do people do after they finished their 2-year study at the Ayurveda health counselor level? Whether or not you take this Ayurvedic herbal course, after you graduate, you're going to be studying herbs. You're just going to either do it on your own or we'll do it together. And I think if we do it together, we will, your education will be much more comprehensive and complete. So when after I, had my degree, I just had to study the herbs on my own. Right? So save some time, learn at light speed instead of the a much slower way, and join us for this advanced herbal education. Now I see Rana is asking, is clinical training as effective as virtual? Not quite sure I understand your question. I am going to say this, but if by virtual you mean online education, I'm going to say that online education is more up close than in person. And just think about it. You're in the 4th row in an in-person class and the teacher is 15 feet in front of the class. That means you're about 30 feet away from the teacher. And the teacher's meeting with a client and the client sticks out their tongue. From that distance, you can tell the client has a tongue, but you cannot see anything about the tongue. Now, when I take a picture of my client's tongue, and even when I am meeting with a client in person, I take a picture of their tongue and put it on the computer screen because I can zoom in and I can see the details on that tongue way better than I can with my naked eye. This is what I mean by multimedia helps medicine. It helps education generally, and you see people moving towards more multimedia in education. But I think the benefits of online education outweigh and are superior to in-person education. And it's also way more accessible and cheaper. So, it's hard for me to come up with a reason to do it any other way. But yeah, I do think that you will get a much richer experience through an online course than you ever could in an in-person course, where you're just not as close to the teacher. I mean, even now on my video, like I am this close to you, right? But if I was a teacher, you would not be able to see me as well as you could now. So I think that's very interesting and a little bit counterintuitive until you actually take a good online course. You won't, it may be a little counterintuitive, but yeah. Okay. Our 3rd course, we've gone over the herb course. We've gone over the 2-year fundamentals course. By the way, even though the fundamentals course is the first course people take, I don't want to make it make you think it's like a beginner course. It's not. My degree is in mathematics and computer science from Harvard University. I'm the director of the school. I take academics seriously. Math at Harvard was hard, really hard. And I was in the top of my class. In fact, I was a teaching fellow while I was an undergraduate for classes that people in my year were taking. And so I excelled. I was at the top of my class. quality academics are really important to me. Now, not many math people are called to be teachers. Not many of them are called to be communicators, but I have a calling to be a teacher. So I have that analytical skill that I bring to medicine, and I think will make your Ayurveda education very powerful. I have the commitment to good academics, and I'm also a calling to be a teacher. So I know a good teacher when I see one. And also, I hope that I'm explaining things in a way that you feel makes things easy to grasp. And if that's true, then I would say that's what you're going to get in our program. So sign up. Mastering Ayurveda Digestion and Nutrition is the third course. It is a 500-hour program, 1 year long, comprehensive course in digestive tract pathology and Ayurvedic nutrition, designed to bring your skills to the level of mastery. Now, whenever you learn a subject as broad as Ayurveda is, right, what you want to do is, you want to go deep in some area, right? I already said you're going to want to learn herbs at a deeper level after you finish any a 2-year program. You're also going to want to know about disease in a particular area. We offer a specialization in digestion and nutrition. Some people ask us, well, what's the difference with between your general Ayurveda course that is comprehensive and this course? We say, well, it's the difference between a general practitioner and a gastroenterologist. One has a specialization and the other has really broad knowledge. And if you have both, even better. Right? So both courses include digestion and nutrition. This course goes much deeper into a specialization in that area so that you have a level of mastery in digestive health and food, right? We can't make you a master of Parkinson's, depression, food allergies, skincare, fertility, and the 100 other different specializations that you could acquire. Then it would be a 15-year course instead of a 2-year course. But we can give you a specialization in digestion and nutrition. And many people are called to that area because digestion and nutrition are just so important. So this course covers all major digestive tract pathologies. We start from appetite and the mouth and go all the way to the other end with all major disease pathologies and all the major Ayurvedic patterns leading to those pathologies. You see, take a condition like IBS. We don't think of IBS as just IBS. What we see in Ayurveda, we get to another level, a deeper level. We might see 15 different kinds of IBS and different herbal strategies for each of those kinds. And so that's what I mean by disease patterns, that it's not just the Western medical disorder that we're looking to. We're trying to see all the underlying patterns that are giving rise to those symptoms. That's why Ayurveda gets to the essence or nature or root of the disorder, as opposed to treating things at the symptom level. Right, so our 30 major disorders is the lens, and we're discussing all the different major disease patterns from an Ayurvedic perspective. Also, this has a heavy focus, this course, on the organoleptic discovery of the pharmacology of food. What does that mean? That means that you're going to understand the pharmacology, the effects, the medical uses of food just through your 5 senses. This is how herbalism was developed, right? How did they do it before equipment? Did they do, controlled, placebo, double-blind studies? No, they experienced the herb directly. They ate it, and by your experience of the herb, you can forecast its pharmacology, its effects, its medicinal uses. And then you test it through your clinical practice. That's what herbalists used to do. And that's what we're going to learn how to do that. You're going to learn how to put an herb in your mouth and from what you experience, know the medical uses. We're going to get really good at that. And it's actually not that hard to do. You just have to focus it for a little while, and you get it. And in fact, you're born with this skill. You're born with this skill. It's just hasn't been taught. So, all right. And then finally, our Panchakarma and Advanced Ayurveda Clinical Skills course. Panchakarma, if you don't have the foundation of the other courses, by this I mean the Herbalist course and the 2-year course, Panchakarma is dangerous. You can hurt people with Panchakarma. So our 4th and 5th year training is the Panchakarma course and advanced clinical skills. This is where we crack open the ancient texts, and we'll be going through them and you'll be studying them from a firsthand perspective. You'll be learning Panchakarma. You'll also study Marma, common nutraceuticals, and modern medical testing. Very important. No matter what level of Ayurvedic training you have, you will get clients who have taken modern Western medical tests and expect you to understand them. You will also have clients that are taking nutraceuticals, CoQ10, etc. You've got to be able to know whether those are good for them. So Panchakarma is Ayurveda's deepest level of healing. And like I said, it's intense and can be a little dangerous. So that's why it's our 4th year training. Now, when I say 4th and 5th year, but it's really a part-time program. So you could say it's equivalent to a year of education spread out over 2 years. And the reason why we're spreading this out over 2 years is because you're already in practice. By the time you finish our first course, you're already in practice. When you finish the fundamentals of Ayurvedic medicine, you have your certification. You have everything you need to practice and see clients. And then you're going to increase your skill with the Herbalist course, the Digestion course, and/or the Panchakarma and Advanced Clinical Skills courses. So you start here and work your way up. And we are a college. Joyful Belly is a licensed college by the state of North Carolina, and they license us to teach Ayurveda. The certification from Joyful Belly is all you need to begin practicing. And you start practicing at the end of your 2nd year, and you're practicing, and hopefully you're a full practice by the time you get to our Panchakarma course, and that's why it's a part-time course. Okay. So our courses are known for their level of depth, head and shoulders above other schools. They exceed standard competency requirements for the Ayurveda profession. You can just ask any of our students about that, and they will confirm that. So our goal is confidence and excellence to be a healer in your community. I've said this already, that we don't present Ayurveda from a mystical point of view. We present it from a common sense point of view. We understand the why, so that you understand the why behind it. You will see Ayurveda's profoundness, and that it offers really amazing insights into the body. And you will know those insights through and through. Our goal is to bring ancient healing into the modern era so that you can integrate and interface with other medical providers. As I said earlier, we're not interested in just your knowledge of Ayurveda theory. Yes, we take that for a given. All of our students have to know the Ayurveda theory. But our goal is clinical competency. And in fact, when you are doing your clinical training, we gather clinical health outcomes data from your clients and see your level of clinical competency. And we use Intelligent Herb for that. I don't know if you've seen Intelligent Herb. I'll show you right here. Hold on one second. Intelligent Herb is the electronic health records tool that we use when you're managing your clients, built by Joyful Belly. And Intelligent Herb will actually help generate recommendations for you. It uses smart technology to help generate recommendations for you as a new clinician. And it will also help track clinical health outcome data of your clients so that when you graduate from Joyful Belly, you know you can help your clients. You can say to them, I have a 90% clinical success rate, because you'll be tracking that through the course. Our goal is to both inspire you and help you become a successful clinician. For your personal health journey, our students are on a personal health journey in our course. All of them have profound insights into their own body, and then they start to understand the body of others. You know, we follow that rule, healer, heal thyself. You'll be working on your own body, and you'll be meeting with students who will be assessing you and giving you great remedy ideas as you will be assessing them. All right. A few things about Joyful Belly's leadership and accomplishments in the field of Ayurveda. And some of these, I think some of these are things you've experienced already. One, we offer thousands of novel, integrative, and experiential articles for free to the public. And this is our community service commitment. Thousands of articles on different Ayurvedic topics and food that we offer to the public. And we've had hundreds of thousands of people register on the website and use our database extensively. Our database has over 150,000 cross references to help practitioners and the public filter food and recipes. This is an awesome thing. I don't know if you've ever seen this on Joyful Belly, but you got to check it out. You can go to diet and recipes and you click on food, and you can look up here foods that are good for Vata individuals, right? You've seen that, food to reduce Vata. Then you can refine your search and say, well, I want anti-inflammatories that are Vata pacifying. All right, well, here's all your list of anti-inflammatory Vata pacifying foods. All right. And I can also say that are ideal for autumn and winter. Autumn, winter food that reduces Vata and also anti-inflammatory. Here's your list, right? So you're going to be your ability to zero in on the exact food that your client needs is really important for your effectiveness as an Ayurvedic student. And as an ongoing practitioner, I use the Joyful Belly for every client I have. I still use it. Okay. We also formalized Ayurveda's theory of medicine as biocharacteristics and making it testable and evaluatable by the scientific community. We've developed thousands of recipes that are also people can filter on. We've also collated 75,000 quiz profiles from and statistically analyzes them and reported those statistics for over 1,000 different disorders and imbalances. That is just totally novel research in the Ayurvedic field. We've conducted novel research studies on over 150 herbs and ingredients, which you can access. All those results are public for everybody. We provide you and have built tools to give you an Ayurvedic body map and chart, and developed Intelligent Herb. All of these show that we are not just teaching Ayurveda, we are developing it and innovating with Ayurveda and advancing the whole profession for everybody. And you will be a participant in that as a member of our school and the Joyful Belly family, our alumni are constantly part of contributing to Ayurveda as a field. Okay. Which courses cover children's health and nourishment? That would be the fundamentals course, the 2-year course, but also the herb course will cover it. We don't do Panchakarma on children usually, so that course will not have a childhood focus, although there'll be some learning of about children in them, child health in it. All right, our goal is insight and intuition, backed up by common sense, detailed knowledge, and a rational approach, that you will get an immersion experience to truly internalize Ayurveda's approach and methods, and that you will experience it. Our courses are challenging, but doable. Ayurveda is not rocket science, it's natural, right? Why is rocket science hard? Because it's unnatural. A lot of science studies things in an unnatural way. We study things in a natural way. So while the course is challenging, it is not beyond or above anyone to be able to do it. All that's required for you to be a great clinician is passion and enthusiasm. If you have a calling in this area, you will do great things. Our course is made for leaders, right? As I said, we, my academic background, I bring that to the school and to the quality of education at the school. My calling as a teacher makes our courses easy, but my commitment to academics makes the courses deep. So so we expect and cater to people who are leaders in their own right, that they have a leadership vocation in the world. And so we know those type of people are very busy. Right. So we don't expect you to come to this course with like, oh, I have, full-time freedom in my life to just study Ayurveda. No, our students are leaders. They have busy lives. And so we make the course flexible so that anyone can attend it. And we have ways to accommodate your individual and unique circumstances built into our program. So just let us know, right? A lot of times, the biggest obstacle to people studying Ayurveda is time. An obstacle can be money also. And another obstacle can be your community, right? Does your community say, yeah, go for it, Ayurveda is awesome? Or do they not know what Ayurveda is, right? So there can be a different level of encouragement from your support group. Well, we want to address all those 3 of those topics: time, finances, support, and also your career opportunities as an Ayurveda practitioner. And those are the 4 pillars that that really students need to put in place in order to jump in. Now, if you have a calling, you're going to make it work. You will be successful. But it's good to dot I's and cross T's. And so our level of flexibility makes the course accessible to you time-wise. And we'll adjust those other components in just a little bit. All right. All right, a few more things about studying at Joyful Belly, which I want to review. Some of them we've already talked about: experiential learning, comprehensive education. We teach our teachers good pedagogy, not just that they know Ayurveda well, but they know how to teach well. That we are looking to give you clarity in Ayurveda, not making it mystical and miraculous, but clarity. I've already talked about the extensive clinical tools we offer. We give every one of our students a clinic that actually this is another tool we built, is that you can create your online clinic through Joyful Belly. And in the process of creating that online clinic, you learn how to create a clinic. You're actually in practice in order to graduate, you will start your practice before you graduate. While you are a student here, you will create your online clinic using our tool. You will start doing Ayurveda presentations to the public, meet with clients under the guidance of a mentor, and you will be charging your clients. So basically, you're practicing. When you graduate from Joyful Belly, you don't start your practice. You just continue doing what you were doing. Perhaps raise your price, but there is, but you don't start after you graduate. You start while you are a student. And someone asked about faculty at Joyful Belly. Here's the link to our clients. Our teachers. I just put in the chat. You can check that out. And you'll see that we have teachers from a wide variety of background. I'll tell you what we don't do. We do not focus on trying to find celebrity Ayurvedic teachers that show up for one day and then are not invested in your education. All right, so you're not going to see any celebrity Ayurvedic teachers on our list. We hire teachers that are dedicated to our students and are focused on you, and that is their main goal in life, is your education. And I think that provides a much better outcome. That's why we do it. All right, we give you the business training and the marketing and promotion training. We teach you how to set up your practice. And what do I mean by that? I mean how to promote yourself, right? Setting up your practice means how to promote your practice. And we take you through a step-by-step plan so that you're not like, oh, I'm not a good at promoting myself. I don't have, I'm not socially confident to promote my clinical skills. All of that. That's not required for you to be a successful clinician. We will show you step-by-step how to do marketing, and you won't need to be a very confident, outspoken, or loud person in order to do that. All right, we offer homework assistance calls. We grade your work. You don't just do your quizzes and then never hear from us. We grade your work and provide you with critical feedback on areas where you might be have low competency. Who has great competency coming into, a health program? Who has perfect competency? No one has perfect competency, right? So what we want to do is work together with you to improve competency where improvement's needed, right? And that provides a real personal touch in the program. And I think that's part of, the relationship that we build with our students and our support staff, and also the students with one another. We have a lot of buddy assignments, student chat. We study together, not self-paced. We used to run self-paced programs. It'd be easy for us, right? We're an online school. We can run self-paced programs. We drop them. They do not perform well. I do not recommend people signing up to self-paced programs. They do not produce the same educational outcomes as you get in a program where you're together with classmates that have a lot to offer you and that are studying and tackling a topic together. So we offer flexibility, but we work together. I've already said this, our teachers know you and they stay with you throughout the program. We have a vibrant alumni community and we organize alumni events, clinical reviews, all kinds of stuff, so that you are a part of a community. When you join Joyful Belly, you're part of a community forever. All right, I've already talked a little bit about our leadership, our pioneering research, public service, innovation, that we're a state licensed college. And we have a particular, you can see this from our website, we have a particular expertise in all things food and digestion. All right, great. So that's a little bit about the schools and features and benefits of the school. Who studies Ayurveda? People who believe the natural way is the best foundation for health. We want to, we take a wholesome approach to health. People come to Ayurveda because they find meaning and generosity and in offering themselves to improving the health and quality of life of others in their community. That's who comes to Ayurveda. The greatest minds of all time applied their talent to medicine. Really, I would say medicine and theology, right? The greatest minds of all time applied their skills really to those two areas. Medicine, all this to say is medicine is a very noble pursuit. And I think it is one of the greatest things a person can do. I have never met a practitioner who regretted studying Ayurveda. I know Western medical doctors who regretted studying Western medicine. You know, I know plumbers who don't want to be plumbers anymore. I have never met an Ayurveda practitioner who regrets studying Ayurveda. 5, 10, 15 years later, they still love it. I know many people who regret postponing studying Ayurveda until next year because of time or finances. And I just always ask those students, will it really change next year? Is your situation going to really be different next year? Usually Ayurveda is the change, right? That if you're expecting your life to change between this year and next year, and that's why you're postponing class, I'm just going to say this, that Ayurveda is the change. We offer attractive monthly plans that are less than your grocery bill each month. So for less than your groceries, you can get a health education that will pay you back, even if you never see a single client. It will pay you many, many times over in increased productivity, in better health, happiness, comfort in your body, beauty, in all of those areas. Ayurveda will pay for itself many, many times over. And so it's a great investment, even if you have no intentions at all of practicing professionally. I'm a father of 7 kids. I have 7 children. My youngest is 6 months old. My oldest is about to turn 16 at the end of this month. And I can tell you that Ayurveda helps us daily to improve the health of my family. All right. Yeah. So I do meet plenty of people who regret not studying Ayurveda. I never meet people who regret studying it. How about Ayurveda as a good career choice? Is Ayurveda a good career choice? It's an important question. Well, first I'm going to say that health and wellness is a $1 trillion industry. There's lots of opportunities in it. In fact, health and wellness expenditures exceed Western medical expenditures globally. This was as of 2015, a global study by the World Health Organization showed that health and wellness expenditures exceeded and outpaced Western medical expenditures globally. And so health and wellness is not alternative medicine. It's gotten that name, but it is anything but alternative medicine. It is the mainstream medicine worldwide, and there's just lots of opportunity in it. Ayurveda is rapidly growing in popularity, and there's still just plenty of opportunity to lead this trend. You could be the nation's leading expert on Ayurveda for Parkinson's. Just pick any disease, and you are very likely to be, if you dedicate yourself to that disorder, the national expert in that disorder. This brings me to the next point, that we walk you step by step through creating your marketing plan, right? But I've already given you the key hint. It's not that your career is an Ayurveda career. Does that make sense? When you become an Ayurveda practitioner, it's not that That's that Ayurveda is your career. You're applying that to something. You're applying Ayurveda to Parkinson's or skincare or stress management or IBS or colon cancer. You apply it to some area, and your career is that area, because that's how people think about their health. People wake up in the morning and they say, oh, I need a natural solution to my Parkinson's disorders. The doctors told me there's nothing they can do. Right? I need a natural solution to that. They're looking for a natural solution to Parkinson's. They're not saying to themselves, I need an Ayurveda practitioner or even a, I don't know, if Western medical doctor could have some fancy machine for Parkinson's. They don't wake up and say, oh, I need that machine. They don't say I need the Feldenkrais method or macrobiology. They say I need relief and a remedy for my Parkinson's. And so if you make Parkinson's your career, you will be wildly successful. No doctor says, hey, come to me because I'm the best Western medical doctor. If I see an advertisement or a billboard on a highway for a Western medical practice, it never says, hey, Robert is the best medical doctor in town. It never says that. It says, come to Robert's Diabetes Clinic. We've seen thousands of diabetes patients, and we can help you overcome diabetes because we are the diabetes experts. That's how they market themselves. No one wants a Western medical doctor either. What they want is relief from diabetes, relief from Parkinson's. What I told you is just a really simple, but will make a very important difference in the success of your practice, is that when you are promoting yourself, promote yourself as an expert in the problem your client has. And that is how you market Ayurveda. Right underneath it, it says, come to Robert's Diabetes Clinic. And right underneath it says, Robert, Ayurveda practitioner since 2008 or something like that, right? That's what makes your practice successful. All right. As I said, we'll give you all the details on that. We'll help you develop your marketing plan. We'll help you develop your your online clinic that we provide to you for free that you can use to charge your clients. And by the way, if you want any help right away with building a career plan in Ayurveda, and career plan in Ayurveda basically is the way that you convince other people that you're making a good decision, right? Suppose you have a spouse and it's like, look, I know that you're really passionate about Ayurveda, but I don't really know about studying Ayurveda for a year, if that's a good idea for our family. Well, what is your spouse really saying? Your spouse is saying, is that practical for us? Is that something that is this your passion project, or is this going to help everybody? That's what the spouse is saying. That's what a parent is saying, or a boss, or a significant other, or your kids, right? When you're telling them your choices, right? Everybody has people in their life. What do those people think about your decision? Well, I can tell you, they will think very practically. You'll think about it passionately. They'll think it very practically. So this is your answer to them. I put the 5-step career plan in the chat group. Save that link and just go through it. Right? Go through that link, and then when someone asks you about your decision, you're just giving this great answer, right? Think about it. Think about the difference. Oh, I'm going to create this beautiful, clinic downtown and people will come. Or I'm going to market to Parkinson's clients in the metropolitan area. I've looked up some statistics. There are 30,000 people with Parkinson's in my metropolitan area. And I see that there are 60 different doctors that specialize in Parkinson's, but lack an integrative approach. I'm going to contact all of them and offer to work with them and with their clients to help their practice become an integrative practice, which will allow the doctors to charge more for their services and provide you with clients. I know I know that these 10 different media outlets will reach Parkinson's clients, and this is where Parkinson's people go when they're looking for solutions. And I'm going to advertise in those area, and I even put together a Google AdWords plan, right? If you say that to your spouse can be like, wow, you thought this through. You'll be like, by my calculations, I can see 300 clients a year, and I can also put together an Ayurveda retreat and cleanse and 2 seasonal cleanse packages a year. And each of those will bring in $30,000 in income. And I can put together a $110,000 plan for our family's income, right? That kind of convincing plan, gives people confidence in you, right? So obviously you may not have all the steps of that plan put together, but that's what we're going to show you how to do. So we'll teach you the Ayurveda, and we'll teach you how to thrive in your life after you graduate. And I think both of those are really important. All right. Okay. Licensing. Ayurveda is an unlicensed profession in the USA and Canada. As we are a college and licensed to teach Ayurveda by the US government, we need to have a license. You don't need a license. We do. Whereas a school, any professional school needs to have a license as a college, but many schools circumvent that by calling themselves a church. Now, immediately, I'm always just have to think, like, how committed are you to being a school if you're trying to get around licensing requirements and just don't want to be a college, right? Why not want to be a college? We are a college. We're audited by the state every single year, and we're licensed to teach Ayurveda. You don't have to pass any board exam after going to Joyful Belly or any other different certifications or belong to any association or anything like that. You go to our school, you can practice when you're done. Really, a state license is the only qualification that matters when choosing a school. Joyful Belly is a member of several associations that are accrediting bodies for Ayurveda schools. And I can tell you what the process is right now. You send them a list of the curriculum topics, and as long as everything that they want you to teach is on that list, they certify you. They have no idea on the quality of the teaching, right? This is, private associations. There's a bunch of them. We belong to some of them, but none of them compare with the state licensing requirements where who audit our school. I'm noticing my face in the video is very dark from the change in lighting here. We have Hurricane Debbie here in Florida. I don't live in Florida, but I'm here in St. Augustine right now. And I'm noticing that, as this hurricane's passing through, sky's a little dark. It's getting dark out. Can't really see my face anymore. So anyway, here you go. Because we're in St. Augustine, we did not get the full brunt of the hurricane. But we got enough of a taste of it that, the ocean was really frothy and built up, and the wind was blowing, and it was really, just an awesome display of nature. And luckily, we did not get the damage that others suffered on the other side of the state. So I haven't seen the news yet on that, but I hope everybody, is safe over there. Anyways, as I said, the only qualification that really matters is from the state. These associations, however well-intentioned they are, we send them a list of what we teach, and they look at the list and they say yes. And they're very happy to have us pay them to say yes to us. And that's all that really means. So I'm saying this to you so that you know what credentials matter. Joyful Belly's credentials are that we are a licensed college, and that we can prove to you we know what we're talking about by the novel research studies we've conducted, by the content we offer on our website. And, I can put the logo of any other association on my website within a month, and that will not mean anything about the quality of school that we are. The proof is in the pudding. Take a look at what we offer. Browse the website. All right, but here's a copy of our proprietary school license. We're also a member of the American Association of Biocharacteristics Clinicians, AADP, APNA, etc. But as I said, we're a member of the National Association of Ayurveda Schools and Colleges. But each of these organizations pale in comparison to the level of detail we have to provide to the US government as an overseeing body. Okay. You can register after you graduate from our courses. You can register with these associations if you want, but it's not needed. Ayurveda health counselor, clinical Ayurveda herbalist, Ayurveda digestive health coach, biocharacteristics clinician. You can register as any one of those with AABC. And also, if you graduate from the Panchakarma course, Ayurvedic doctor. If you graduate from the digestive course, that's Ayurveda digestive health coach. The herbalist course is the clinical Ayurveda herbalist. You can register as an Ayurveda food consultant with APNA, a health coach with AADP, an Ayurveda health counselor with APNA, etc. if you want. I recommend joining an association if they're going to actually do something for your clinic. Anyway, what's unique about our certification courses? I've said this already, that we focus on great teaching. So our focus is to teach you to be a teacher. What's different about Ayurveda is that just compare it with acupuncture. You go to an acupuncturist, they stick a bunch of needles in you. You don't then go home and stick needles in yourself, right? It's not like you go to an acupuncture and they teach you how to needle yourself. But in Ayurveda, that's exactly what you're doing. You are teaching your clients how to live a new and better lifestyle, which foods to eat, etc. So you're not doing the treatment. The client is doing the treatment. So you have to be a good teacher in order that they do the work. Our goal is to teach you how to be a teacher. Communication is essential, the essential skill in an Ayurveda practitioner. And again, I think you want to choose a school directed by someone who has clear thinking ability, academic excellence, and a practical mindset. There's a lot of people that come to Ayurveda from many different backgrounds. You know, check the director of the school. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I said most of this already. All right. Who makes up our student body? Nurse practitioners, yoga teachers, individuals who want to become healers, dermatologists, estheticians, medical doctors, functional medicine practitioners, mental health and social workers, Ayurveda practitioners wanting to continue their education, BAMS. BAMS is people who study Ayurveda in India, which is like getting that's like 7 years of study. BAMS practitioners who want to expand their education into Western herbs will take the Herbalist course. Really, anyone enthusiastic about Ayurveda, we have a course for you, but this is the typical people that we get in our courses. Massage therapists, nutritionists. What do people do after graduation? They start their private clinical practice. They may integrate Ayurveda into an existing practice or a yoga class or retreats or studio. They may teach Ayurveda at hospitals or spas or universities. Some students go on to become cooks. Their passion is food, and they're taking Ayurveda to learn how to use food to really. The awesome thing about Ayurveda is that it's not only healthy, but vibrant and delicious at the same time. And that's because it's natural. Our tongue is designed to find healthy food tastier. It's an organ to direct you towards the right food to eat. That's what the tongue is for. And so if we're understanding nature right, our food should be even better. And it is. One of the things that kept me from studying Ayurveda for a few years is I thought that Ayurveda was a set of draconian rules about food that would really suppress my artistic talent as a cook. I mean, everyone's got their art, right? Mine is cooking and math, right? Cooking, math, philosophy, dancing, all those things are things that I think are just, wonderful private personal pursuits that I love. I didn't want to study Ayurveda because I thought it would, destroy my cooking skills because it would make, kind of eat out of box, right? Eat in a restrictive way. But that's when I realized that no, some laws restrict freedom, other laws increase freedom. A natural law is one that makes you more free because you're knowing the actual rules and laws of nature. It means that you're like aligned with nature in a better way that makes you more effective as a person. And that effectiveness, it makes you more free, makes you more capable. By free, I mean more capable as an individual. Draconian rules that aren't natural can restrict freedom, but the right rules increase it. And I found Ayurveda vastly increased my creative abilities as a chef. And I was way more of an artist after I took the course than before. All right, our graduates integrate Ayurveda into their quality of life care as a nurse. They write books and create movies about Ayurveda. They may offer diet and lifestyle consulting at an integrative clinic, right? If you team up with a Western medical doctor, they're going to be able to charge a higher amount for their appointments because they're running an integrative clinic and everybody wants that. And then you're getting clients from them also. It's a great way to begin your practice is team up with a doctor that is trying to find a way to make their practice more integrative. And you're their ticket. Even if you offer to do seminars or webinars for clinics in your area, Western medical clinics in your area, it's a great way to get clients. Okay. Any situation where you're taking care of others, mental health clinic, etc. Our students have used Ayurveda in that in those kinds of venues. All right, good. So now I'm going to go over a little more of the format of the courses and wrap things up for you. Okay. In the next 10 minutes or so. All right, the fundamentals of Ayurvedic medicine. I said it's a 2-year course, 180 pre-recorded presentations. Wow, a lot of work there, right? It was awesome to put that together with a team of Ayurveda practitioners. 180 pre-recorded presentations developed by a team of practitioners, not just my voice, right? A diverse group of individuals with clinical exercises following on each presentation. Each week, you're going to get 3 presentations with exercises that apply the knowledge. You'll get 3, that's asynchronous, right? 3 asynchronous at home presentations that you can listen to when your brain is fresh, right? My wife, her brain is on at 11 p.m. after the kids go to bed. My brain, I'm at it 5 a.m. in the morning. I do my best work at 5 a.m. So I'm going to be listening to those asynchronous presentations at 5 a.m. My wife at 11 p.m. Live classes are synchronous. We all meet together, discuss the results of the other presentations, and you'll get 2 body awareness experiments each week. You can expect to spend, on average, about 12 hours a week in this course. We have 33 weeks that we meet each year, and you have about 20 weeks of breaks each year. In year 2, you're going to get all of your supervised clinical encounters, buddy consultations, forms and legal parameters, and special topics like pregnancy, pediatrics, postpartum, sense therapy, Marma points, exercise, etc. The digestion course, 60 pre-recorded presentations covering 30 major GI disorders and all of the patterns of disharmony that result from those that cause those disorders. 90 live reviews, that's 3 live classes each week. So you get 2 pre-recorded presentations each week and 3 live classes, 1 quiz, 2 food or herb experiments, and a case study each week. All right, and that course is more like 8 to 10 hours a week of study. The Ayurveda Herbalist course, also 12 hours a week. You can take a look at the curriculum, by the way, of any of our courses right online. You just scroll down and you'll see we go over the curriculum and everything in the class. I've gone over it a little bit already, so I'm not going to review it right now, but you can just check out the write-up, okay? I want to say in a good herbal program, you're going to learn with a 2-pronged approach. You're going to learn herb by herb, that's bottom up, and you're going to learn top down, organ system by organ system. So a lot of times what happens in an herb school is you study ashwagandha, and then you know everything about ashwagandha, and then you study shatavari, and by the time you know everything about shatavari, you forgot everything about ashwagandha. That's why the bottom-up approach doesn't really work in herbalism alone. You also need top-down, where we will compare and contrast all the different respiratory herbs so that you know how to think about them all together as a group and the differences between them. So we learn, we kind of come from the bottom and the top, herb by herb and organ system by organ system. You're going to be eating and drinking the herbs, etc. So, yeah. The Panchakarma and herb course have a more heavy reading component in them and research component. The Panchakarma course, you will be reading directly from the ancient texts and from source material. The digestion course and the fundamentals course are more presentation focused, just so you know a little bit about those. The scope of this course we've already discussed. You can see the curriculum online for this, but the Panchakarma course, we're going to meet once a week and then every 3rd week, twice a week for 2 years. And so that course is spread out a little bit more, and that makes it accessible for people who already have their clinic running. All right, the great thing about these live synchronous class times is that we record them. So if you can't attend it, if you're at the beach in St. Augustine, last vacation of the summer, and there's a hurricane, you can do your classwork, right? By recording. Excuse me. All right, now there are prerequisites. There, excuse me, something in my throat. All right, the Ayurveda Health Counselor course, the 2-year course. You don't need prior background for that course. The digestive course, you must have a background in health and wellness, some kind of background in health and wellness. That could mean that you're a massage therapist, a yoga teacher, a medical doctor, but some background in health and wellness. If you have been studying health and wellness at an amateur level for a long time, we'll let you in. Also, if you have a digestive disorder, we'll let you in, because then you de facto have a background in health and wellness, right? But the main thing here is we want everyone in the student body to have something to offer the other students. The herb course, you must have strong familiarity with Ayurveda concepts or Chinese medicine concepts or Western herbalist, right? It's just, there's no way you can drink all that in if you don't know some of the basics, right? If you don't know Ayurveda or TCM or Western herbalism, it's too much. But if you know one of those, you can do it. Now, I don't stand in the way of greatness. When I was a freshman at Harvard, my academic advisor told me there's no way you're going to be able to survive taking these courses. This is what he told me. I showed him my course selections. He said, you're not going to survive that. I'm like, oh yeah, watch me, right? And he said, well, okay, I'm not going to stand in your way. And I'm not going to stand in your way either, right? So I took those courses. They were hard. And they really were a little bit ahead of myself. I failed the midterm my freshman year. And because it was really above me. But man, I put my nose to the grind. I studied hard. I did it. I passed the final with an A. And my teacher threw out my midterm grade because he saw that I had climbed the mountain and knew it. I didn't know it by the midterm, but I knew it by the final. So if you want to take this herb course and you don't have background, I'm not going to stand in your way. But these are my recommendations. Panchakarma cleanse specialist course. The prerequisite for that is that you've taken the Ayurveda health counselor course or have equivalent training. Same thing. Not going to stand in the way of greatness. But you're gonna, these courses are advanced courses. So, these last two, the digestive course is advanced too, but because it's so specialized, if you have any background in health and wellness, you'll get there, right? Because we're dealing with just one part of the body. But the herb course and the Panchakarma course, we're dealing with the whole body. That is a vast, vast thing. Even digestion is quite vast. All right. All right. Good. We went over hours. Distance learning format. I think you'll understand that, know that. Good. We know life happens when you're a student. We've had students had a parent pass away or, became pregnant and was having a baby or a project at work or got laid off at work. Life happens when you're a student, right? So don't worry about those things. We are targeting top-notch students with busy lives. We know that you have a lot going on. We can be flexible and accommodate you. And all you do is let us know a little bit in advance. Now, if it's an emergency, you don't always know in advance. But otherwise, if you let us know in advance, we can move mountains to make your education possible. All right. And by advance, I mean, 2 weeks in advance of something. Okay. Big thing at work. Vacation with the family. Don't cancel your vacation plans if you take our course. Go on vacation. Sit on the beach and listen to awesome Ayurveda lectures. Or just take the whole 2 weeks off and come back. You will succeed. Okay? We have that flexibility. We do have a midterm and a final in the course every year. Why? Because every client is like a midterm or a final. When a client comes to meet with you, it's basically you're taking a final, right? They could ask you anything and you have to give them an answer. So midterms and finals are really important in Ayurveda because every client is like a midterm or a final. Now, some people get nervous when they take a test. Again, we're going to be there for you. So don't worry about it. All right. I've already talked about this, how to create a clinic. When do courses start? We're really getting ready to start those courses now. Okay. The fundamentals course, the herbalist course, and the Panchakarma course. Now is the time to sign up. We got a few weeks left, 21 days, 3 weeks exactly till sign up. The digestion course is the second week of October. So if you want to take these courses, now is the time to jump in and line your ducks up. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good. I think we've covered all of the basics. The AHC course and the Panchakarma course are $250 a month. The Herbalist course and the Digestion course, $350 a month. You could see total tuition here for each of these courses. $6,999 for AHC. I mean, where can you get, this is $3,500 a year. Where can you get an in-depth education for $3,500 a year? We can do it because we're online. We can do it because, you know, I have a computer science degree. Joyful Belly is very efficient as a company, and we can pass those cost savings on to you. There's no way you're getting this level of education anywhere else for $3,500 a year, right? It'd be double at least. Okay, the digestion program and the herb course, $4,499 for the 1-year program. Now you'll see on the website, it says $299 a month. That's because that was July. I haven't updated it for August yet. Basically, the monthly rate is whatever you need to pay off your education by graduation. So each month there's one fewer months to pay it off. That's why the price goes up. Not because we're charging more for tuition, but the monthly rate goes up because there's fewer months to pay it off. So I'm going to change that $299 to $350, but I won't change it tonight in case any of you want to sign up. Okay, that way you'll get locked in at that rate, and you'll have the lower rate. Yeah, good. All right, I know it's a big decision. I said time, finances, support, and career planning. I talked a little bit about career planning, how you market yourself as an expert in Parkinson's or pick your disease, right? I'm going to teach you a lot more about career planning. Support. Also, your spouse wants to know you're making a practical decision. Look at that 5-step career plan. Finances. We try to make those monthly rates attractive. And really, the cost of education at Joyful Belly is much lower than anywhere else. And it's because as a software developer from Harvard, I just made our platform super efficient, and I can pass on those cost savings to you. And I do. Time-wise, I've talked about our flexibility. But is it the right fit for you? You know, you may still have some questions. You may still want to know, hey, do I really have a calling in this? This particular question or that particular question that you might have, I'm happy to help you. Let me give you my cell phone number. This is my cell phone number. I put it in the chat. It's 828-785-8213. You see the admission number there, but just text me directly. You can text me right now. If you have a question right now, text it right now. Actually, you can also put it in the chat because I'm going to stay on for questions, Q&A. And I see some questions up above. Melissa says she's singing, cooking, painting, and drawing. Nice. Melissa, I have tried my whole life to be a good singer, and I could tell you, God gave me many talents. Singing is not one of them. but
it's like me dancing. I'm always on the wrong foot, and I fight so hard.
I know, it's just funny.
It's hilarious. That's the hardest.
I mean, I sing with my kids every night. When we do our prayers, we sing, right? We sing together. And, you know, I've gotten better, but really, it's not good. It is really not good.
Yeah, my dad used to sing. He sang so bad, but he enjoyed himself so much.
Yes, I do. I enjoy it. I love it. I love it. But, you know.
And then he started yodeling, and it sounded good.
Yeah, maybe I can yodel good. I should yodel. I'm going to start yodeling. So, and I see some other questions up there. Differences between Ayurveda in India and Joyful Belly. Let me answer all those. I'll do that just after the presentation's over. We're wrapping up right now. How do you register? You go to the school tab on the website. You see here, Study Ayurveda. You see all the courses. You can even look up about the school, all these other links. Great. You want to study in the Ayurveda Health Counselor course, you click on it. And then you go down to, let me log out here so that you see exactly what I see. All right. You click register now for $250 a month. That's it. And you go to do the checkout process. That's how you register. Okay, you can also register with a $600 deposit and pay the rest of the tuition off and save $125 a year from that. So you'll give us this year's tuition, $3,500. You know, the $600 deposit, then another $2,900. Well, you'll save $125 this year by doing it. You do it next year, you'll save another $125. For the digestion course, you can pay with a $600 deposit and then the rest of tuition before the course starts and get $250 off. Both of them, it's $250 off, but one is $125 a year. And yeah, same thing for all the courses. Register now for the monthly payment plan. That's all you need to do to register. And then as soon as you register, the application process will pop up on your screen and you just go through that as well. And then you're good. Great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you not just for your interest in taking a Joyful Belly class, but for your interest in health. I know we all know that disease is contagious, but health is also contagious. When you take an interest in your body and understanding it and in health, you radiate possibilities and opportunities for quality of life improvements for the whole world. And that is awesome. It's good work. It's noble work. It's holy and sacred work. And I thank you for that interest in it. And I especially thank you for being here and choosing Joyful Belly. I hope to see you in class. And text me. I hope to talk to you if you have any questions about studying at Joyful Belly or your vocation in Ayurveda or how to make it practical or just anything at all. I'm happy to discuss it with you. And let me turn things over to question and answer. You can think about your question if you haven't thought about it yet while I answer this question. Roma asks, is there any difference in how Ayurveda is taught at Joyful Belly versus a traditional school in Ayurveda? Yes, there is. The American Academy in general is more focused on why. Americans can be an unruly bunch, right? We don't accept things just because of authority or testimony. And so the American schools, and I think Joyful Belly is a leader in this, is we just answer the question why, right? There's a reason why we say understanding, right? Why the word understanding? Understanding means you know something, right? But think about those words. It means you're standing under something, right? Or what does that mean? To know something means you know the cause, means you know what stands under that thing, the why. And I think the American Academy and Joyful Belly in particular excels in giving you the why. And that is what is different between Indian schools and Joyful Belly. Now, the Indian schools, it's 7 years of education, and you can do residencies there. So I'm not going to say that, you know, that's a great thing that they have there. We don't have that in Western Ayurveda education. So, you know, it's now we have teachers who are educated in India in our faculty, and we're adding another person this year. But we also have teachers from the US and other countries that teach in our programs. So we get some of the benefits of both countries at Joyful Belly. Yeah. All right, good. So your questions. I see Rachel Miller has her hand up. Rachel, how can I help?
Hello. So, thank you. This was great information. Loved it, and a wonderful presentation. So I have two simple, quick questions. The first one is, so in regards to the Ayurvedic Health Counselor Program, during that second year, it shows that we're taking on clients under mentorship. So are these clients that we are getting ourselves?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
would happen if if we are struggling with the marketing or commitment from some of our clients and they aren't showing up?
Yeah. I mean, again, we promise you a practical education, right? When you graduate from Joyful Belly, you not only know how to find clients, but you also have been in practice. And not only have you been in practice, but we evaluate clinical health outcomes. And you can say, I have a clinical success rate with my clients, right? So, so yeah, that's a problem. Client commitment is sometimes a problem. Um, Marketing is difficult, especially in the beginning. But that's why you're studying with us, is because we're going to troubleshoot those things with you and give you effective methods for finding those clients. And our our students graduate. I mean, they do find clients, and they make it. So
Okay.
so all I can say is that we're going to help you build the tools that you need for that. And we don't get complaints from our students on that level. They don't say,
Okay.
"Oh, well, I can't find clients," or things like that. No, no,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
reassuring.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other question I had, so you said that it was a 33 weeks on and we have 20 weeks of breaks.
Hmm.
So is that layout available to us before
Yes, it
we,
is. Yes, it
yeah,
is. Yes, it is. And I'm just
that
going to say
calendar?
it's more or less that. I might be off by like a week or so or something, but let's look at the calendar here. Academic calendar. It's this top link right here, and it shows you what the calendar
Okay, perfect.
is. Okay, so you can see that. I'll just put that right in the chat. You can check that out. So you see
Thank
the
you.
breaks, and I'll review the breaks quickly right here because I think it's important to know that you see the what this layout really is. Right, you see the Thanksgiving break, then the Christmas break, then the February winter break, then the April spring break. The Christmas break is 3 weeks. The spring break, which is the week before and after Easter, is 2 weeks. And then you have the Memorial Day break and then summer break. If you look at this, you'll see that you're never more than like 6 weeks or 5 weeks from a break, so that
Yeah.
you get that refresher period, some downtime, rejuvenation and even contemplation, right? Over the holidays and over the summer, think about, and reconnect with the joy of what you're learning, right? Contemplate it, follow your sparks, follow some, interests, and explore. I mean, that's what those breaks are really for, is that, you have a chance to um, sometimes by not doing, you learn more than doing, right? Just by
Mhm.
stepping back
Absolutely.
and coming back with a fresh mind. And that is why those breaks are designed to be just every few weeks that you rejuvenate and come back fresh.
Awesome. Thank you for breaking that down. And actually, I'm sorry to sneak this in here, but I do have one more question.
Please sneak it in.
And
Yeah.
that's regarding like some of the practical knowledge that we should be applying at home. Will you provide resources as far as like where we can purchase some of the Ayurvedic
Yeah.
herbs or
Suppliers,
spices or
definitely.
oils? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give you suppliers information, the top suppliers that we use and that are recommended to us. And absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. All right. Someone whose initials are AK has their hand up.
Hi, John. Thanks for
Hi.
the presentation. My question is regarding the course itself.
Uh-huh.
You've said that there's exams and assignments. If you have trouble passing these assessments and exams, do you get a chance to retake them?
Yeah. So again, right? It's better that you fail with us than with your clients, right? Like that's our approach, right? It's better that you bomb an exam with us than bomb a session with your client. Okay. So it's good that we find any areas where we need to improve competency early. And that's what the tests are for. Yes, you can redo them. Now if you ultimately have a failing grade on a final or midterm, in addition to the corrections, we may give you some additional work to get to that competency level. This is especially if you bomb the quiz badly, right? Like if a person gets like a 50 on an exam, that would be bombing badly. And it happens. It happens. And then we just want to make sure that you get what you need from us, right? And some students can be like, oh, extra work. I don't want extra work. How can you do this to me? Or something like that. No, that's the wrong attitude. That would be the wrong way to think about it. Think about it as more like this. Wow, this school is investing in me until I succeed, right? Like we're there with you until you succeed. And we're going to cross the finish line with you. And you're going to prove the competency to yourself. You don't need to prove, in the end, yeah, you need to prove it to us, but you also need to prove it to yourself that you have the confidence to go out and practice and that you don't second guess your own skills because you feel like, oh, you didn't do well. No, everybody, when they graduate from here, has done well. So yeah, you might get some extra clinical sessions that you have to meet with more clients, some tutoring sessions, some, depending upon how badly the fail was. But I invite everyone who's worried about that to just feel thankful for that. That it's not just like, okay, well, you didn't make it or anything like that. No, you're going to be like, you're going to be the Harvard quality student, right? Not that, you're just, getting by in the minimum. You're going to be awesome. All right, now I see another question. Does that answer your question, AK?
Yes, it does. I just got one more question. Sorry, John.
Please.
I was going to say, you said about someone has to have some experience in health and wellness. Could you explain that? Because if I didn't have any experience or expertise with regards to health and wellness, how do I approach this course?
Which course?
If I had an interest in this herbalist course.
In the herbalist course?
Yes.
Okay. So in the herbalist course, that course is not that you needed to have existing practice in health and wellness. That's a digestion course. The digestion course, you have to have some existing health and wellness practice or training. But the herbalist course, you really should be familiar with Ayurveda concepts, Chinese medical concepts, or Western herbs. Now, if you don't have any of those, I would just take the 2-year course, because the 2-year course contains, it's basically an intro to herbalism course. I mean, the 2-year course is an intro to herbalism. You will learn, when you're learning Ayurveda, you're learning the foundation of herbalism. We're just taking it to the next level in the herbalist course. So if you don't have any herbalistic training at all yet, just take the 2-year course. If you already know Ayurveda, yeah, by all means, jump into the herbalist course. And I said, I promise you that I would not stand in the way of greatness. If you want to take it, go ahead. But I don't recommend it. I would recommend that you take the fundamentals course, and it's basically an herbal foundations course, because that's what Ayurveda is. Ayurveda is the language of medicine that herbalists use. What is Greek medicine? Greek medicine is just Western Ayurveda. Unani Tib, practiced in the Middle East to this day. Unani Tib means, Tib means medicine. Unani means Iona. The medicine from Iona means Greek medicine. Iona is an island in Greece. So Greek medicine and Ayurveda are the same thing, separated by a few thousand miles, and very, very similar. So Ayurveda medicine is the study of the foundations of Western herbalism. If you want to study herbs and you don't have any herb experience, just take the fundamentals course and you'll be a great herbalist. Does that answer? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, great. Thanks very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, good. Now I see Roma asking, does the fundamentals course cover yoga and astrology or medical astrology? All right. Roma, I'm going to say this. I would not shortchange you by trying to cover yoga and astrology in a Ayurveda course. Now, we do cover some yoga in the course. You know, the Ayurveda approach to yoga, right? We do give a brief thing on that. But Ayurveda is vast enough, right? You see here we have 5 years of study for Ayurveda itself. Now, is yoga a quick study? Do you take, you know, a 10-hour yoga class and then call yourself a yogi? No way, right? Yoga could be a 4-year study also, or a lifelong study. The best place to learn yoga is at a yoga school. The best place to learn Ayurveda is at our Ayurveda school. I would not try to go to a school that tries to be an expert in both, right? Because they're two vast disciplines. You know, some people also with spirituality. Yes, we will show you Ayurveda's approach to spirituality, which I think has some real interesting, you know, that when you really look at Ayurveda's philosophy, underlying philosophy, you see it has very much in common with scholastic realism. Very interesting, very interesting. Actually, very interesting differences from yoga. And so, you know, we'll look at what Ayurveda's philosophy is, and yeah, we'll include that. But it's not like I see these schools, and it's just such a marketing gimmick where they're like, you are going to be a spiritual Ayurvedic guru by the time you finish our course. Man, it's hard enough to be an Ayurvedic guru, no less trying to, you know, pass yourself off as if you're equal to someone who went to seminary school and has a 4-year degree in theology, right? Do you think that it's possible to be a theologian, a yogi, an astrologer, and an Ayurveda expert in 2 years? Man, we still have to learn a lot about the body after the 2 years. So this is what I mean when I say, Roma, I am not going to shortchange you by adding some, transcendental spiritual images to my website that make it look fantastic so that you sign up and then you end up getting a superficial understanding of everything because you're trying to accomplish too much and end up not knowing anything at all and being very ineffective. I would not do that to you, right? You know, I have spent my whole life studying theology and Ayurveda and all that. There's no way you're getting that in a 2-year program. You wouldn't want that. If you saw that, run away fast. So yeah, we'll give you some of the basic, how Ayurveda would approach yoga and specifically asana. Yoga is very interesting because its purpose is transcendental, to transcend the flesh. Ayurveda's purpose is not to transcend the flesh. Ayurveda's purpose is to heal the flesh. And so when we talk about yoga, we're really talking about asana, the particular stretches and the herbal actions those stretches have on the body. That is very relevant in an Ayurveda program and accomplishable. Not that we would try to penetrate Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And, you know, and medical astrology is even, it's just very vast, right? So let's not bite off more than we can chew. You will find there is a very rich education at Joyful Belly that will be more than enough for you to accomplish over these 2 years. And then when you want to study other things, go to the experts of those things and study it there. But stay away from jack of all trades that's trying to trying to fit a bunch of things in their marketing materials so that you can, you sign up, but then can't really deliver. Yeah. All right. I promise you will find some spiritual inspiration in our course. Just because of Ayurveda's common sense perspective on the world. Yeah? All right. Any other questions? Great. God bless all of you. You are a great group, and I appreciate your questions. And 2 hours shows me your dedication on the call. I hope you can hear in my voice that I am passionate and will work passionately for you. That I will carry that throughout the whole course. I'm the director of the school, and so so some of my enthusiasm has rubbed off on staff too. I'm just gonna say that. That hopefully you feel that, and that you're inspired. I hope to see you in a few weeks in class, and yeah, reach out. I'll put my cell phone number in the chat one more time. It's 828-785-8213. And we'll talk soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.